We'll be back.
It matches your outfit, you.
We'll be back. Come on. Come on. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. We'll be back. Let's go. Let's go.
If he's a 39-year-old coming off an ACL surgery, would you advise him to fight again?
I would certainly not keep him from fighting. You know, I've seen and talked with athletes with far worse injuries continue their sports at varying levels. Lindsey Vonn, right?
Right.
You know, recent example, not that I talked to her, but right, we've seen kind of the extreme in her case. And so all you can do is you give them the pros, the cons. You talk about the risks. You talk about what possibilities could be there, and then you give them all the support that you can to help accomplish their goals, whatever they may be. I don't think there'd be any reason it would be dangerous for him to continue fighting, especially if he has a good recovery, no matter what the case may be. It just is certainly as we get older, it's harder to have an optimal recovery compared to, say, if this had happened when he was, 21 years old.
But I have told you, look, you can't do this, right? As super of a man as Conor is, he's not Superman. His leg was broken in two. Ronda Rousey returned. Gina Carano returned. Prior to that, a decade, Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz did something. It was something, but it was enough that the promoter folded up and realized, if these are my highest paid guys and these are my stars and I owe them other fights, I'm best to just not be in this line of work. Right? It was just that real. It was just that real that you can't do this work at this level and hold down a main event spot in that condition. You just can't do it. You don't get better at anything.
The big question is he coming back? Well, here's what I think. I think that he will. I think that he came back because he's a fighter and that he gives a damn about his reputation as a fighter, not so much the money. Yes, the money's great, but he's got lots of that. But he wants to show the world, hey, I've still got it. I'm still the man. I can still beat these people in a fight, right? Because I think that. I'm 47 years old, and if some little punk thinks that they can beat me, I want to prove them wrong. And if I'm still active, if I'm still in the lightweight division or the middleweight division, and if I'm still of fighting age, then I certainly want to prove that. I don't want to walk away losing 4 out of my last 5 fights, okay? Because that would be a bit embarrassing, okay? But that is just combat sports. It is a tale as old as time. That is what happens. This sport will churn you up, chew you up, spit you out, and leave you down the road, okay? And Conor McGregor has done very well out of it. Will he come back again and fight? Yeah. I don't know who it's going to be, okay? The big question is, of course, what is he going to do? Will he come back? That's what everybody wants to know, and I think that he will.
Conor McGregor has promised fans that his return to the octagon is closer than ever, determined to prove he's far from finished. Even Michael Bisping believes Conor will make his comeback, but warns that the devastating leg injury could prevent him from ever reaching the unstoppable level that once made him the UFC's biggest superstar, while Chael Sonnen remains doubtful about what Conor has left. As the possibility of a devastating knee injury looms, Chael Sonnen doesn't see a fast road back for Conor McGregor. He warns that if the damage is as serious as feared, the recovery alone could keep Conor out for a year, pushing any return dangerously close to the age of 40. In Chael's eyes, time isn't just running out, it's becoming Conor's toughest opponent yet.
It's hard for me to imagine a quick turnaround for Conor if there is, in fact, a blown-out knee. We're talking about a year right now before you return to the gym. Then if we're looking at delays or anything like this, if we take half the time till his next fight that we took between his previous fight and this fight, he's 40 years old.
Going back to the Conor fight, Chael Sonnen says the real alarm wasn't Conor McGregor's kicks. It was the shocking moment he threw a punch and instantly lost his balance. To Chael, that split second exposed a harsh reality. After years away from elite competition, Conor simply didn't look physically prepared for the biggest stage. It wasn't just one mistake, it was the moment Chael believed the comeback was already slipping away.
The moment, if you go back and rewatch this fight, the moment where you question and go, oh no, oh no, this human, this young man, Conor, isn't ready. He didn't prepare right. He throws a punch, right? We're all thinking of the kicks, but if you rewatch it, he threw a punch and he went down. He lost his balance. He lost his balance on a punch. And that's where I saw, okay, this is not going to be any different than Chuck or Tito. This isn't going to be any different than Gina or Ronda. This is just a wonderful athlete who hasn't done it for 6 years.
Furthermore, Chael Sonnen believes the UFC can't keep building entire events around Conor McGregor without a title on the line, warning that the comeback magic isn't something fans will buy twice. In his view, if Conor ever steps back into the octagon, it won't be as a 5-round main event, but as a fighter driven purely by the love of competition. It's a brutal reality check from Chael, suggesting that McGregor's days as the sport's unquestioned headline attraction may finally be coming to an end.
Why do I say that? You can't main event somebody at this price tag and not have a title attached. Now, that's not a literal statement. You can if you have something else. And they had a history here, and they had a return, and after all, that is Conor McGregor, and the live gate absolute all-time record proves you can still do it, but it's a rarity. Can you pull that same trick twice? Put a guy in a weight class that isn't his own, bring another guy from a weight class that isn't his own, contest it at a weight class that really had nothing to do with anything. Oh, by the way, no belt, no title implications, main event. Can you do that twice? No, I don't think so. Okay, but you can still have Conor if there's a love of competition. We got to relook at the deal. It won't be a 5-round fight, and for the first time ever, it's not going to be a main event, right? I understand Conor's debut but after that, he was main event. Even his fight against Max the first time, to remind you, was a main event of the prelim, but it was a main event. You get my point? And I don't think that's realistic. I don't think we believe that Conor is going to jerk the curtain. I don't think we believe he's going to be third down from the top. I don't think we believe that he's going to be in his hotel while the press conference is going on with 2 guys on a card. That's not him. So, can we make all the things work that we would need to work to get him in there? And I don't think so.
As Chael Sonnen closed with perhaps his most emotional message yet, saying every fighter eventually reaches the moment when the sport moves on, no matter how legendary their career has been. While praising everything Conor McGregor has accomplished, Chael suggested this could be the painful turning point where the fight game is no longer waiting for him. It's a chilling reminder that in combat sports, even the biggest superstars can't outrun time forever.
I don't think so. That's a tough talk, but it's okay. He can handle it. He did what he needed to do. He represented very well for a very long time. At some point, you can no longer do this work. I will tell you, as a former fighter, there is never a day that you're done with the business. But there's a day for everyone that you wake up and you find out the business is done with you.
Moreover, Michael Bisping believes Conor McGregor isn't chasing another payday. He's chasing redemption. In Bisping's eyes, a true fighter can't walk away after losing 4 of his last 5 fights, and McGregor's burning desire to prove he still belongs at the top is what will drag him back into the octagon. Whether the road is brutal or the odds are stacked against him, Bisping is convinced Conor will return to silence every doubter and fight for his legacy one more time.
The big question is he coming back? Well, here's what I think. I think that he will. I think that he came back because he's a fighter and that he gives a damn about his reputation as a fighter, not so much the money. Yes, the money's great, but he's got lots of that. But he wants to show the world, hey, I've still got it. I'm still the man. I can still beat these people in a fight, right? Because I think that. I'm 47 years old, and if some little punk thinks that they can beat me, I want to prove them wrong. And if I'm still active, if I'm still in the lightweight division or the middleweight division, and if I'm still of fighting age, then I certainly want to prove that. I don't want to walk away losing 4 out of my last 5 fights, okay? Because that'd be a bit embarrassing, okay? But that is just combat sports. It is a tale as old as time. That is what happens. This sport will train you up, chew you up, spit you out, and leave you down the road, okay? And Conor McGregor has done very well out of it. Will he come back again and fight? Yeah. I don't know who it's going to be, okay?
After reflecting on everything that happened, Michael Bisping admitted that the injury could push Conor McGregor into one of the darkest periods of his life. He warned that setbacks like this can tempt fighters toward destructive habits, but he hopes Conor stays focused, avoids the distractions, and commits fully to recovery. Despite the devastating blow, Bisping believes the UFC is simply bigger when McGregor is competing and hopes to see the Notorious make one final comeback to reclaim his place inside the octagon.
If he is going through dark times, then it is obviously very easy to start acting up, to start drinking and partying and stuff like that. I hope that he doesn't. I hope that he stays on the straight and narrow. And I hope that he makes it back to the sport as soon as possible, because the whole fight week was absolutely phenomenal. The buzz, the atmosphere was absolutely electric, and everyone was very, very excited to see him come back. The big question is, will it still be there? Will the hype still be there? Do people still care? Do people want to see him return? And will it be at that same kind of fever? You know what I'm saying?
Dr. Brain Sutterer's verdict just sent shockwaves through the MMA world, insisting Conor McGregor's latest knee injury is not the career-ending disaster many are claiming. He's seen athletes compete with far worse damage and believes this setback alone shouldn't stop Conor from stepping back into the octagon. While questions remain about the ACL and meniscus, he argues that countless fighters have battled back from similar or even worse injuries to compete at the highest level. The comeback debate is officially on fire, and McGregor's fighting future may be far from over.
If he's a 39-year-old coming off an ACL surgery, would you advise him to fight again?
I would certainly not keep him from fighting. You know, I've seen and talked with athletes with far worse injuries continue their sports at varying levels. Lindsey Vonn, right?
Right.
You know, recent example, not that I talked to her, but right, we've seen kind of the extreme in her case. And so all you can do is you give them the pros, the cons. You talk about the risks. You talk about what possibilities could be there, and then you give them all the support that you can to help accomplish their goals, whatever they may be. I don't think there'd be any reason it would be dangerous for him to continue fighting, especially if he has a good recovery, no matter what the case may be. It certainly as we get older, it's harder to have an optimal recovery compared to, say, if this had happened when he was, 21 years old.
Shifting to that, Michael Chandler completely shut down the growing narrative that Conor McGregor entered UFC 329 with a severely compromised leg. Chandler argued that McGregor exploded out of the gate with his trademark aggressive style, proving he believed he was physically ready to fight. He insisted Conor isn't the kind of fighter who would step into the octagon just to collect a paycheck or mislead fans about his condition. Chandler's bold defense has reignited the debate, with many now questioning whether McGregor's devastating injury truly happened only after the fight began.
Everybody's trying to figure out, hey, was Conor injured prior to the fight? You can say what you want about Conor. The thing he is not is a bamboozler. Because I've had a lot of people say, man, why would Conor do that? He came out like an idiot, jumped across the cage and threw a kick. Conor always does that. When I was training to fight him, I was expecting within the first 5 minutes some kind of spinning wheel kick, some type of flying knee, some type of flying Superman punch. He did the Superman punch against Cowboy Cerrone within the first 5 seconds. To those who say, why would he do that? Well, he did it because he always does that. I believe he wants to fight me. I believe he tried to fight me. I believe he wanted to fight me. I believe that's how the negotiations went. When it comes to the confines of competition, the dude would not just show up to take a paycheck. He pulled out of the fight with me. It was a broken pinky toe. You're telling me that he would pull out of a fight because of a broken pinky toe, but he wouldn't pull out of a fight with a very severely compromised leg?
However, Daniel Cormier has thrown a massive question into the MMA world, wondering whether fans would even buy into another Conor McGregor comeback after everything that's happened. DC believes the biggest challenge isn't just McGregor returning to the octagon, it's convincing fans that another comeback is worth believing in. His comments have ignited a fierce debate over whether Conor's superstar aura can still sell one more blockbuster fight, or if the MMA world has finally moved on.
And if you ask me truthfully, I am more likely to tell you that it's not going to happen than it will happen. He's very unique, and I think the whole week showed that. He's the biggest star that we have, and the whole week showed that. I just wonder if he even does try to come back once again. Do people even buy into it again and say they want to see Conor McGregor go at it one more time?
Go ahead.
It really sucks because the card itself was insane.
In the end, Conor McGregor's determination to make another UFC comeback despite suffering yet another devastating injury. It breaks down the contrasting opinions of Chael Sonnen, Michael Bisping, Daniel Cormier, Michael Chandler, and Dr. Brian Sutterer, each offering a different perspective on whether the Notorious can still compete at the highest level. From doubts about age, ring rust, and long-term damage to belief in Conor's relentless fighting spirit, the debate has never been more intense. The video ultimately explores whether McGregor's next return could become one of the greatest redemption stories in MMA history or the final chapter of a legendary career. Conor McGregor says he'll be back, but the MMA world remains completely divided. Some believe this is only another obstacle before one last legendary comeback, while others think Father Time and repeated injuries have already written the ending. The only certainty is that if the Notorious ever walks back into the octagon, the entire combat sports world will be watching to see whether he can defy the odds one final time. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the biggest MMA news, fight breakdowns, expert reactions, and exclusive Conor McGregor updates. Let us know in the comments, will Conor McGregor successfully return to the top, or is his championship window finally closed?